Welcome. I would like to invite you, just for this moment, to step out of the stream of thinking. To step out of the narrative you have been telling yourself about who you are, where you are going, and what is happening to you. There is a fundamental misunderstanding that lies at the root of almost all human suffering. It is a very subtle error in perception, one that is woven into the very structure of our language and our conditioning. It is the belief, the unquestioned assumption, that you are a separate entity, a fragile fragment placed into a universe that is alien to you. You feel that you are here, inside your skin, inside your head, and the world is out there, happening to you. We use phrases like, "Life has been hard on me lately," or "I am struggling with my life." Notice the language. There is I, and there is my life. Two things. As if life were a commodity you possess, or perhaps an opponent you are wrestling with. You treat the present moment as if it were an obstacle to be overcome, a problem to be solved, or in the worst cases an enemy to be defeated. But consider this: have you ever been separate from life? Have you ever experienced a moment where you were on one side and life was on the other? No. You cannot, because you are alive. The concept of my life is, ultimately, a mental construct. It is a thought form. When you say my life, you are usually referring to a history. A collection of memories, achievements, failures, emotional scars, and future projections. This is the psychological self, the egoic entity. And this entity feels very small, very vulnerable, in the face of the vastness of the universe. And so, it creates a defensive posture. It creates a gap. Here is me. There is the world. And because the world is vast and unpredictable, and the me feels small, the relationship becomes one of fear. We try to control life. We try to manipulate events so that they suit the me. And when inevitably events do not go according to the plan of the little me, we feel that life is attacking us. Why is this happening to me? Implies that you are a target. But let us look deeper. Let us go beneath the noise of the mind. If you go into the inner body, if you feel the aliveness in your hands, in your chest, you realize that the energy vibrating within you is the same energy that animates the universe. The intelligence that beats your heart without you having to think about it is the same intelligence that moves the tides and spins the galaxies. It is not two energies. It is one. This brings us to the shift. The shift from seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances to realizing your true identity as consciousness itself. Life is not an external event acting upon you. The world you perceive is a reflection of your state of consciousness. In fact, there is no world out there independent of your consciousness. Perception and the perceiver are one. Think of a dream. When you are dreaming at night, you perceive a world. There are landscapes. There are other people, there are scary situations and happy situations. In the dream, it feels very real. It feels like the dream is happening to the dream character you think you are. But when you wake up, you realize something profound. You were not just the character in the dream. You were the entire dream. You were the landscape. You were the villain chasing you. You were the sky. It was all happening as you. It was a projection of your own mind. Waking reality is not so different, although it follows different laws of physics and consistency. But the fundamental truth remains: you are not a stranger in this universe. You are the universe expresses itself as a human for a brief while. When you realize this, the conflict ends. You stop waiting for the world to make you happy. You stop demanding that the present moment looks a certain way before you can be at peace. You realize that the form the present moment takes is the form that consciousness, your consciousness, in its universal aspect has brought forth. To say I accept this moment is a good start. But to say I am this moment is the deeper truth. When you struggle against the now, when you argue with what is, you are essentially arguing with yourself. You are fighting your own manifestation. This is the insanity of the ego. It is the hand trying to fight the arm. Let's look at the nature of control, because this is where the fear of life happening to you is strongest. The ego believes that if it worries enough, if it plans enough, if it resists the present moment enough, it can control reality. It thinks that by tightening up, by becoming rigid, it protects itself. But look at nature. A willow tree does not resist the wind. It moves with it. It bends. Because it yields, it survives the storm. The oak tree, which is rigid and unyielding, may crack. To realize that life is happening as you is to become like the willow. It is a state of intense alertness, but zero resistance. You are moving with the unfolding of form, not against it. This does not mean you become passive or lethargic. It is quite the opposite. When you remove the friction of resistance, when you stop complaining mentally about what is happening, a vast intelligence becomes available to you. You are no longer wasting energy building a wall against reality. That energy is now free to flow into creative action. If action is required, you act. But you act not from a place of I must fix this terrible life, but from a place of wholeness. You act as an extension of the situation itself. The action is not a reaction, it is a response. Reaction comes from the past, response comes from the present. Let us go deeper into this interaction between the inner and the outer. Many people feel trapped by their circumstances. They look at their bank account, their relationships, their health, their location, and they say, "This is my reality, and I hate it." They believe the external condition is the cause of their internal suffering. If only I had more money, I would be at peace. If only my partner would change, I would be happy. This is the illusion of causality. We believe the outside changes the inside. But in the realm of consciousness, it is often the reverse. Or rather, they are synchronous. The world acts as a mirror. If you carry deep within you a sense of lack, a belief that you are not enough, that life is hostile, world will reflect that back to you. You will find yourself in situations that confirm your belief in lack. You will encounter people who seem hostile, not because life is punishing you, but because life is matching you. It is echoing your frequency. So, if you feel that life is attacking you, the first place to look is not at the attack. It is to look at the one who felt attacked. Who is this me that is so easily threatened? It is the mental image of who you are. It is the ego. The ego is obsessed with forms. It identifies with things. I am a mother, I am a CEO, I am a failure, I am a victim. When these forms are threatening, when the children leave, when the job is lost, the ego panics. It feels it is dying. It screams, life is destroying me. But life is not destroying you. Life is breaking down the forms so that the formless can shine through. This is a painful realization for the ego, but a liberating one for the spirit. Sometimes, what we call bad things happening to us, loss, illness, failure, are actually the universe's way of cracking the shell of the ego. The shell must crack for the light to enter. Or more accurately, for the light that is already inside to shine out. And so, we must look closely at this thing we call suffering. When you believe life is happening to you, suffering is almost inevitable. Why? Because life is constantly changing. Forms are born and forms die. People come and people go. Structures are built and structures crumble. If your sense of self, your identity, is tied to things remaining exactly as they are, or to things turning out exactly as you pictured them, you are setting yourself up for conflict with the universe. You are demanding that the ocean stops making waves because you prefer a flat surface. But the nature of the ocean is movement. When a wave crashes, does the water suffer? No. The form of the wave disappears, but the water remains. The water was the wave, and now the water is the calm. It is the same water. If you realize you are the water, if you realize you are the underlying consciousness and not just the temporary form of this person with this history, then the crashing of the wave is no longer a tragedy. It is simply a movement. It is simply what is. This is a very deep spiritual practice, to walk through life without labeling events as good or bad. The mind loves to label. It is an obsession. Something happens, perhaps you miss a flight, or you lose a wallet, or you have an argument, and immediately the mind stamps it bad. This is bad. This shouldn't be happening. But notice what occurs when you apply that label. You feel a contraction. You feel a tightness in the solar plexus. You feel anger or despondency. You have separated yourself from the event. There is the event, and there is you, the victim of the event. But if you withhold the label, if you simply look at the situation without adding the mental commentary, what remains? There is simply a situation, a challenge, perhaps, a set of circumstances that requires action. But it's not bad. It just is. And because you haven't labeled it as an enemy, you don't recoil from it. You remain open. And because you are open, life can flow through you to deal with the situation. This is what it means for life to happen like you. You become the space in which the events unfold, and you become the intelligence that responds to it. You are not the swimmer struggling against the current. You are the present. Let's touch upon the subject of time, for time is the horizontal dimension where the victim lives. The me that feels life is happening to it is made entirely of time. It is made of the past memories, conditioning, old hurts, and the future anticipation, worry, hope. When you say, "my life," you are usually thinking of a timeline. I was born here, I achieved this, I failed at that, and I hope to get there. This narrative is what we call the story of me. Now, there is nothing wrong with having a story. We all have one. It is necessary for functioning in this world. You need to know your name, your address, your skills. But the mistake is to derive your sense of being from that story. The story is always unsatisfied. Have you noticed? The story always needs one more thing to be completed. Once I get this promotion, then my life will be good. Once I find the right partner, then I will be okay. This is the great illusion. You are looking to the future to save you from the present. But the future never comes. When it comes, it is the now. If you are always waiting for life to get better, you are denying the life that is here. You are treating the present moment as a stepping stone to some imagined future moment that is better. This reduces your life, the only life you have, which is now, to a means to an end. And when you treat life as a means to an end, life treats you the same way. It feels shallow. It feels heavy. It feels like a struggle. But if you reverse this, if you give your fullest attention to this moment, however humble it may be, let's say you are washing the dishes. A simple task. The victim mind says, "I hate this. I should be doing something more important. I wish I was finished already." That is resistance. That is separation. You are here, but you want to be there. You have divided yourself in two. The conscious approach is, "I am washing the dishes." There is the feeling of the warm water, the sound of the brush, the texture of the ceramic. You merge with the action. There is no washer and dish. There is only the process of washing. In that moment, you are the consciousness of the universe performing the action of washing a bowl. It sounds insignificant to the mind, but it is sacred. Because in that state of alignment, there is peace. There is no conflict. And here is the beautiful paradox: when you align with the present moment in the small things, the big things tend to take care of themselves. You enter a state of flow. The struggle disappears. You see, the universe is not chaotic. It is a cosmos, which implies order. but it is an order that the thinking mind cannot be fully understood because the mind is fragmented. The mind sees only a tiny slice of reality. Imagine you are looking at a beautiful tapestry through a microscope. You see one thread. It looks rough. It looks isolated. You say, "This thread makes no sense. It is out of place." You judge it. But if you pull back, if you broaden your awareness, you see how that single thread is woven into a magnificent pattern. Your life is like that thread. When you are trapped in the ego, you are looking through the microscope. You see only your own immediate problem. You feel isolated. You feel the universe has made a mistake. But when you step back into the awareness, into the stillness, you begin to sense the pattern. You may not see the whole picture, for the human mind is finite, but you can feel the intelligence behind it. You can trust the we. This trust is not a blind belief. It is not an intellectual hope. It is a felt connection. It is knowing, deep in your cells, that you are not separate from the whole. Consider your body. Right now, you are likely sitting or standing. You are breathing. Are you beating your heart? Are you digesting your food? Are you circulating your blood? No. You, the thinking mind, has nothing to do with it. If you had to think about beating your heart, you would have died a long time ago. Something else is doing it. A vast intelligence is running your biological functions with infinite precision. If this intelligence can manage the trillions of cells in your body without your conscious interference, do you not think it can manage the circumstances of your life? The problem is that we interfere. We interfere with our worries. We interfere with our resistance. We interfere with our desperate need to control outcomes. Control is the master addiction of the ego. The ego believes that if it lets go, everything will collapse. If I don't worry about this, who will? But try an experiment. Just for a moment, drop the reins. Stop trying to hold the world together with your mind. Notice that the world does not fall apart. The sounds continue. The breath continues. The presence remains. In fact, everything becomes more vivid, more alive, because you have removed the filter of anxiety. You begin to realize that life lives through you. There is a phrase in the ancient teachings, "Not my will, but thy will be done." Religious language can be tricky because it often creates a duality, God out there and me down here. But if you look at the pointer, the essence of that teaching is this: not the will of the small, separate ego, but the will of the universal intelligence. When you align your will with the flow of events, when you say yes to what is, you are suddenly wielding the power of the universe. You are no longer a fragment. You are the whole thing. But how do we live this in a practical way? How do we deal with difficult people, with financial crisis, with loss, while holding this realization? It requires a high degree of alertness. It requires you to be the guardian of your inner space. To be the guardian of your inner space means that you value the state of your consciousness more than you value the external circumstances. This is a radical shift. Most people value the situation first. If the situation is good, then I will feel good. They prioritize the furniture of their life over the space in which the furniture sits. But when you realize that life is happening as you understand that the state of your consciousness is the primary factor in how your reality is experienced. If you are polluting your inner space with negativity, with judgment, with resistance, then it does not matter where you are or what you possess. You could be in a palace surrounded by luxury, but if your mind is saying, "I am bored, or I am afraid of losing this," then you are in hell. The palace cannot save you from your own mind. Contrary, you could be in a prison cell. But if you have accepted the present moment completely, if you have dropped the resistance to what is, you can find a peace that passes all understanding. You are free, even within the walls. This is not a theory. This is an experiential truth. The world is a mirror. If you frown at the mirror frowns back. You cannot force the reflection to smile while you are still frowning. You must smile first. You must find the peace first. Then the mirror reflects that peace back to you in the form of harmonious circumstances, helpful people, and synchronicity. But let us be very clear, you do not find peace in order to change the mirror. That's a trap. That is the ego sneaking in the back door, trying to manipulate reality again. I will be peaceful so that I can get what I want. No, that doesn't work. The universe cannot be tricked. It responds to your vibration, not your mental strategies. You find peace because peace is the only sane way to live. You find peace because to be at war with the now is to be at war with life itself. Now consider your relationships. This is often where the illusion of life happening to me is most dense. We often feel that other people are doing things to us. They are annoying us, they are disrespecting us, they are demanding things from us. The ego loves to have enemies. Even a minor enemy, like a rude waiter or a slow driver, will do. The ego strengthens itself by complaining about others. I am right, they are wrong. I am the victim, they are the offender. Every time you complain about another person, you are creating a mental image of them. You are reducing the vast mystery of a human being to a concept in your mind. And then you interact with that concept, not the person. When you realize life is happening as you realize that the other is not truly other. They are another expression of the one life. They are you, disguised as them. If someone is rude to you and you react with anger, you have been pulled into unconsciousness. You have become part of their nightmare. But if you stay present, if you feel the energy of their rudeness but do not react, if you allow it to pass through you like wind through a screen, then you have broken the cycle of karma. You are no longer a victim of their behavior. You are the space in which their behavior arises and dissolves. And often, your lack of reaction, your deep stillness acts as a mirror for them. They may suddenly stop. They may suddenly wake up, even for a second, because their ego has nothing to push against. This is true power. Not power over someone, but the power of oneness. But what about the pain that is already inside you? Much of you carry what I call the pain body. This is the accumulation of old emotional pain that lives in your energy field. It consists of childhood hurts, past traumas, and even the collective pain of humanity. The pain body loves the idea that life is happening to you. It feeds on it. It wants you to feel like a victim. It wants you to feel sad, angry, or afraid because those heavy emotions are its food. Have you ever noticed that on some days you almost want to be unhappy? You wake up looking for a fight. You interpret an innocent comment as an insult. You remember a grievance from 10 years ago and replay it in your head. This is not you. This is the pain body waking up and demanding to be fed. If you are unconscious, you believe these thoughts. You say, yes, life is miserable. I have been treated so unfairly. You become the pain. And the pain body grows stronger. But if you are alert, you catch it. You see the emotions rising. You feel the heaviness in the chest or the stomach. And instead of becoming it, you observe it. You say, this is the pain body. It is waking up. You do not judge it. You don't try to push it away. You simply watch it. You shine the light of your presence upon it. In that moment of observation, you sever the link between the pain and your thinking. The pain can no longer generate unhappy thoughts to feed itself. It begins to lose energy. It begins to transmute into presence. You are no longer the person suffering. You are the awareness behind the suffering. This is how you deal with bad things from the past. You realize that the past has no power over you in the now. The only power the past has is the power you give it by dragging it into the present moment through your thinking. Drop the luggage. You don't need it. Now, a question often arises: if I accept everything as it is, if I realize life is happening as me, will I not become passive? Will I not just sit there and let people walk all over me? This is the ego's greatest fear, that acceptance equals weakness. But the opposite is true. Acceptance or surrender is the transition from a rigid, afraid energy to a fluid, powerful energy. Imagine you are walking on a path and you fall into a pit of mud. The egoic reaction, life is happening to me, looks like this. You sit in the mud and scream. Why did this happen? Who dug this hole? This is unfair. I am dirty. My day is ruined. You are thrashing about. You are resisting the truth of the mud. And in your thrashing, you sink deeper. You take no effective action because all your energy is consumed by complaining. The awakened response, life is happening as me, looks like this. You fall. You notice you are in mud. It is a fact. There is no story. There is no poor me. Because there is no mental resistance, your intelligence is fully available. You look around. You see a root sticking out of the wall. You grab it. You pull yourself out. You find water. You wash. Action was taken. But it was action born of presence, not reaction born of panic. When you act from this state of isness, your actions are of high quality. They are precise. They are effective. And they do not create new suffering. This is the dance of the two dimensions of your life. There is the horizontal dimension, your life situation, your finances, your relationships, your physical body. These things exist in time. They require care. They require planning. But then there is the vertical dimension, the dimension of depth, of the now, of your being. Most people live only on the horizontal surface. They are trapped in the waves. Up and down, success and failure, happy and sad. It is exhausting. I am inviting you to sink a little deeper. Below the waves. Into the depths of the ocean. In the depth, the water is always calm. Even if there is a storm on the surface, the depth remains undisturbed. You can live in the vertical dimension while operating in the horizontal. You can be washing the dishes horizontal while being rooted in deep peace vertical. You can be running a business meeting horizontal while sensing the aliveness of your inner body vertical. This is what it means to be in the world but not of it. You participate in the game of forms, but you are not lost in the forms. You play with the toys of life, careers, houses, reputations, but you don't look to them for your identity. You know who you are. You are the consciousness that allows the world to be. And when you know this, fear vanishes. What is there to fear? You are not the form that can be destroyed. You are the life that animates the form. The sun does not fear the sunset. It knows it is the light. And so we arrive at the ultimate paradox, the one that the mind finds most difficult to grasp. You are not in the universe is in you. When I say you, I do not mean the little person with the name and the social security number. That person is in the universe, yes. That person occupies a tiny speck of space and a fleeting moment of time. But that person is not you. That is the avatar. That's the costume. The real you is the consciousness in which the entire universe appears. Look at the sky. It is vast. It holds the clouds, the storms, the sun, the stars. The clouds come and go. They are born, they change shape, they dissolve. Does the sky complain when a cloud dissolves? Does the sky say, I am losing myself? No. The sky is the space that allows the clouds to be. You are the sky. Your thoughts, your emotions, your life circumstances, your physical body, these are the clouds. When you believe you are the cloud, you are disenchanted of the wind. You are disenchanted of dissipation. You cling to your shape. I must remain this shape forever, screams the ego. But the nature of the cloud is subject to change. When you realize you are the sky, you allow the clouds to dance. You enjoy their shapes. You may even enjoy the storm, for you know it cannot harm the space. The space is untouched by fire, by water, by wind. This realization brings about the end of fear, and most importantly, the end of the fear of death. For what is death? If life is happening to you, if you are a biological accident that appears for 80 years and will then disappear, then death is a tragedy. It is the end of the story. It is the final defeat. But if life is happening as you, then death is simply a change in frequency. It is the form dissolving back into the formless. There is a secret that has been whispered by mystics across the ages. It is the secret of life itself. Die before you die. This does not mean physical suicide. It means the death of the ego. It means letting go of the mental image of yourself now, while you are still alive. It means stepping out of the psychological need to be someone and resting in the simple joy of being. If you can die to the past, if you can die to your story, if you can die to the need for the future to save you, then you realize that there is something in you that was never born and can never die. It is the one life. It is the unmanifested, and it is looking through your eyes right now. Can you feel it? Can you feel that the eye that is hearing these words is the same eye that heard the voice of your mother when you were a child? Your body has changed completely. Your mind has changed. Your emotions have changed. The world has changed. But the eye, the witness, has not aged a day. It is timeless. That eye is not your name. It is not your profession. It is the pure light of consciousness. When you live from this place, your life becomes a work of art. Not because you are trying to impress anyone, but because the Creator is creating through you. You stop trying to make something of yourself. That is a very heavy burden. I must make something of myself. As if you are raw material that needs to be hammered into shape. Instead, you allow the self to make something of you. You become a hollow bamboo, as the Zen tradition suggests. You let the breath of the universe flow through you and create a melody. The melody might be raising a child. It might be building a business. It might be nursing a sick person. It might be sitting quietly on a park bench. The external form of the action does not matter as much as the frequency from which it flows. If it flows from lack, from fear, from life is happening to me, it creates karma. It creates complexity. It creates suffering. If it flows from fullness, from love, from life is happening like me, it creates beauty. It brings order to chaos. So, as you move forward from this moment, I invite you to play a little game with the universe. When a challenge arises, a traffic jam, a difficult email, a broken appliance, catch yourself before the reaction sets in. Catch the thought that says, "This is against me." Stop. Smile internally and say to yourself, "This is not happening to me. This is happening for me. This is the form the present moment is taking. I am the space for this." Watch what happens to your energy. Watch how the tension drops from your shoulders. Watch how a solution presents itself, or how the situation simply ceases to matter. You are reclaiming your power. You are taking back the energy that was trapped in your psychological defenses and making it available for living. And do not worry if you forget. You will forget. You will fall back into the drama. You will get angry. You will feel like a victim. The moment you notice that you have fallen, you have already risen. The noticing is the awakening. Do not judge yourself for falling asleep. Just wake up again. And again, and again. Eventually, the intervals of wakefulness will get longer. The background of peace will become continuous. Even when things go wrong on the surface, you will feel a deep river of peace flowing underneath. You will realize that you are not the waves on the surface of the ocean. You are the ocean itself. You are the universe expresses itself as a human for a little while. You are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold. That is how important you are. So, stop waiting for life to begin. Stop waiting for the problem to be solved. The problem is the waiting. Step into the now. Step into your true identity. Life is not coming at you. It is coming from you. You are the light of the world. Thank you.